In this video we will see what is an endorsement. So what section describes about it. So what are the various litigations, legal requirements, and how various entities have to endorse, and what are the types of endorsements. We will end up with, as usual, 2-3 questions based on the topic that is covered. Before we actually go for endorsement, let us see what is negotiation. There is a difference between transfer and negotiation. So transfer is merely me giving a pen to somebody. That's all. That is just transfer. Here in negotiation, supposing I am giving, there are 3 types of negotiable instruments. One is check, the other one is bill of exchange, and the third one is promissory note. You are aware. So these are the 3 negotiable instruments. So when we are negotiating, that means we are giving the title also to the person whom we are handing it over. So he also gets a better title. So this is called negotiation. Okay. Coming to delivery, you can hand over a bearer instrument just by handing. Say, supposing I am writing Krupakar to Ram. Ram can just hand it over to, say, Lakshman. So Lakshman becomes the owner of that instrument. Mere delivery as far as bearer instrument is concerned. When there is an order instrument, that is described in section 47 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, it says a promissory note, bill of exchange, or a check payable to bearer is negotiable by delivery. Whereas an order instrument of promissory note, bill of exchange, or check negotiable by holder by endorsement. So now this is the reason why I talked about negotiation first, then mere delivery a bearer can do it, and third, if it is an order instrument, you need to endorse it for negotiation. So this is the idea behind describing these 3 parameters. So what is an endorsement? Where is it mentioned? Section 15 speaks about it. When the maker or holder of a negotiable instrument signs the same otherwise than as such maker for the purpose of negotiation. Where can he sign? On the back or thereof, or on a slip of paper, which is called a allonge, annexed thereto, or signs on a stamped instrument. This is supposed to be endorsement. So what are the main criteria for endorsement? Signature of the maker, intention of signing the instrument for the purpose of a negotiation. So these are the important parameters that needs to be looked into for endorsement. So what are the legal provisions of endorsements? So section 50 speaks about it. An instrument may also be endorsed so as to constitute the endorsee an agent. So there can be an agent also for the endorsement purpose. So who is an endorser? The instrument, supposing it is the person who is drawer of the check can endorse on the back, or payee of the check can endorse. So who is the drawer, who is the payee? So this mainly you should know about it. In case of a check, consider this a check. Here you will have signature here, name of bank, then here date will be there, and here will be pay, name of the person or bearer, and then amount. Here you will have amount. So this person who is signing here is called drawer. This is payee bank, and the beneficiary is payee. So the endorsement can be done either by the drawer or by the payee. So this is allowed as per section 50. So he can be called endorser. In case it is a joint name they are given on the top, say Ram and Sita, suppose they are mentioned, both of them should sign on the back of the instrument. That will become a proper endorsement. There was a peculiar case which was reported from one of the southern branches. The check was drawn in favor of Ramesh and Sita, signed by father of the instrument. The amount is 1 lakh of rupee. On the back of the instrument, father has mentioned, Ramesh, please give 60,000 rupees. Sita, please give 40,000 rupees. And then he signed it on the back. Is it valid? It is not at all valid. Section 56 deals with it of Negotiable Instrument Act. The instrument must be endorsed for its entire amount. No partial payment is allowed as far as endorsement is concerned. You cannot decide on the part payment of an instrument. The total value will be paid to the person's name which is written here. Of course, after taking the KYC of those individuals. So partial payment will not be possible. Okay, there is another question. In case endorsement is done already, so he has signed it, it is given to say Ramesh. Ramesh has endorsed it to say somebody else, but he forgot to give the check, or he thought he will give the check the next day. But the same day evening, Ramesh expired, Ramesh died. Can his son hand over this instrument, the endorsed instrument which is signed before the death? No, it is invalid. Supposing the person who was endorsed is dead, it cannot be handed over by mere delivery. That is invalid. This is explained in section 57 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Okay, what are the general rules of endorsements? Signature of the endorser is mandatory, and spelling is very much important. Say for example, my spelling is this: Krupakar. Supposing I am endorsing on the back and I make a signature which is not possible for you to read, I have to write within the bracket my name with the proper spelling. I cannot misspell. I cannot have a different spelling. That is wrong. In case it is written as Krupakar Yam, and the Yam should be there on the back. Supposing it is mentioned as Krupakar Madhavan, then on the back of the instrument, I should sign, and down below within bracket I should write Krupakar Madhavan. I should not write Krupakar Yam. That becomes invalid. So the way it is written here, the endorsement should be the same way on the back of the instrument. So this I made clear. This probably you will see in many of the cases where women after marriage will have husband's name. So in that case, they should write the current signature, and within bracket down below, they should write maiden name and with the father's name added on it. Normally, only in the married women case, you may find these discrepancies. Can an illiterate person endorse? Supposing this Ramesh, where I am writing here in this case Krupakar, supposing I am an illiterate, can I make an endorsement? Of course I can make with my thumb impression. Okay, there is right hand thumb impression, left hand thumb impression. These are all differentiated because normally in the olden days we used to work in the fields. A lot of right hand has been used, and many of us would have had a not unclear thumb impression, and hence they were recommending left. There is no hard and fast rule that only right should be used or only left should be used. Any finger means thumb impression can be used. Normally it is a practice to use left hand thumb impression because the impression will be very clear. So the illiterate person should give the impression on the back of the instrument, and very very important thing, there should be one witness who has to give the entire address details and say that I know this person. So this illiterate person is known to me. So the illiterate can do it. Okay, in case of partnership firm, can a partnership firm endorse? Yes, partnership firm can endorse with proper property seal on the back of it, and the authorized signatory should sign it. Okay, can a joint stock companies endorse? In case of joint companies, institutions or associations, endorsement should be made by persons who are duly authorized to sign on behalf of the institutions. So he has to make the endorsement on the back. He has to sign properly. So these are the various types we have seen. So what are the kinds of endorsements? There are 5 kinds of endorsements. One is endorsement in black, second one endorsement in full, third one conditional endorsement, fourth one restrictive endorsement, and the fifth one is endorsement sans recourse. The last one is there, facultative endorsement, not much in use. So here also in this case which I mentioned, those 5 endorsements, many of it are not in use. But then we will see for academic purpose what they are. What is the meaning of endorsement in black? This is explained in section 16 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. If the endorser just signs his name only, supposing I am signing on the back of the instrument Kripakar, and then I am just handing it over, anybody can make the payment, means get the payment. So this is the endorsement in blank. I haven't given any condition, it's just blank signature on the back. So this is endorsement in blank. What is endorsement in full? The second one. In addition to the signature, supposing I am adding a direction to pay, meaning I have signed, on the top I am writing pay to Ramesh. Supposing I am writing like that, that is called endorsement in full. That is the meaning. I am writing pay to Ramesh. So that is endorsement in full. What is conditional endorsement? This is very unlikely that these kind of endorsements are not there. But still I will tell you for academic purpose. Pay C if he returns from Mumbai. How will you ensure that he is returned from Mumbai? So this is not in use now, but then you should know about it. Then comes restrictive endorsement. What is restrictive endorsement? I can say that on the back of it, pay to Ramesh only. You cannot further endorse that. And pay to Ramesh only, and then as Kripakar I will sign down below. So this is called restrictive endorsement. Then there is something called endorsement sans recourse. Sans recourse meaning without having any responsibility on me when I am signing it on the back. So this is explained in section 52 of Negotiable Instrument Act. Say for example, I am endorsing a cheque Kripakar to say X at his own risk. Supposing I am mentioning pay to X at his own risk. That's all. This endorsement is called endorsement sans recourse. So the last endorsement which is mentioned as facultative endorsement, that means supposing I am mentioning in that the endorsement must give a notice of dishonor. Supposing I am mentioning to the endorser that notice of endorsement has to be informed in case he needs to file under section 138 for return of the instrument. So when I am writing as facultative endorsement, notice of dishonor is actually waived. This endorsement is not at all being used. So you don't need to worry. So what are the endorsement that is in practice as of now? One is endorsement in blank, mere signature on the back, that is valid, and the endorsement in full, pay to Y. So all other endorsement like conditional endorsement, restrictive endorsement. Conditional endorsement I told you, if he returns from Mumbai, that is not in practice. Restrictive also, pay to Y only, that is also not in practice. Endorsement sans recourse, meaning without having any responsibility on the person who has endorsed, that is also not invalid. Facultative endorsement also is not in practice. So you should know mainly those 2 endorsements which we discussed at the beginning. It's a question time. So we'll see what it is. What is sans recourse endorsement means? I'll give you the option. A. I am not afraid. B. It is not to be endorsed. C. Ask the drawer. D. Without liability to me. So yes, you would have guessed the answer right. Sans recourse endorsement meaning without liability to me. That is the answer. Question number 2. Which of the following will not be deemed as restrictive endorsement? A. Pay A. B. Pay A for my use. C. Pay A or order for the account of B. D. Pay the contents to C only. So here, which will not be restrictive is pay A. That is the answer. The last question. In which of the following cases the endorsement is valid? If the instrument is payable to A and B and is endorsed by A only, that is not valid. So I am just giving you an answer. This is not right. Both should sign on the back. Now, which is valid? The instrument is of 1000 but it bears an endorsement of 500 only with the remark of 500 have already been paid. This is also invalid. You cannot make this kind of endorsement. This is not valid. A cheque is payable to Rajiv Saxena but it bears the signature or Saxena. No, that is not valid. It should be fully written as Rajiv Saxena, or if he signs as R Saxena, within bracket below you should write his full name. The check is payable to Virendra Prakash, but it is endorsed as Virendra Prakash. Virendra Prakash it is mentioned as DER, Virendra Prakash. That is also not correct. It should be the same name. Okay. So we have seen so much about endorsements. I hope you are enjoying this banking related, check related, instruments related, negotiable instruments related sessions. Very interesting. In case you have any queries, please put it in the description. We will discuss about it. On further enhancement of these banking knowledge, we will see future videos. Thank you very much for patiently watching. Please send it across to commerce students, account students, finance students of say degree, post-graduation as well as MBAs. Thank you very much. And young bankers also can go through it for knowledge purpose. Bye.